Thanks to EA for giving me early access. Hi friends, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So this is going to be a very special speed build because this is the very first build with adventure awaits that I'm sharing with you all. I was given early access to this pack by the EA Creator Network, which I am so insanely thankful for. We are looking at a special early access version of the game right now where I just have the base game and the new pack installed. That is also why my username is kind of floating around on screen. This is not final software that we're looking at right now. It is just the base game and the new pack in an early access version of the build, like I said. So that's what we're looking at right now, and I'm so excited to share this with you all. This is a family camp in the world of Gibby Point, which is obviously the new world that comes with Adventure Awaits. And I will say, when this pack was first announced, I was feeling a little overwhelmed by everything. First of all, I did not expect a new expansion to come out this fast after the previous one. So that alone was already like, what? We're getting a new pack? Okay, tell me more. And then this one comes with so many new features. We have the getaway system. We have the custom venue lot type that basically makes it so that you can build anything you want in a way. So that in itself is so cool, but like super overwhelming at the same time. And then, like I said, the getaway system, we have so many new activities for Sims to do. There is formative moments for children, which adds a whole nother aspect to growing up for your Sims. Like, it is so much fun. We have imaginary friends, obviously. There is all this new like playground equipment. We have pool slides and diving boards and regular slides and kayaking, archery, like what? Spinning bikes. There's all these things. And then your Sims can go to camp as well. And also, if you want to do like a Love Island kind of thing, then that works because we have these like competitive or, extra elements that you can add on to your getaways. So, needless to say, I was definitely feeling a little overwhelmed when this one first was announced, and I was trying to understand everything all at once. And then I got my hands on this early access copy of the game and I was like, okay, gotta sit back, relax, take a deep breath, and just go over the features and just, familiarize yourself with the pack and just have fun with it and see what it's all about. So that's what I decided to do, and this is the very first thing that I did when I got my hands on this game. I was like, okay, I really, really, really want to build some kind of family camp thing. I think that would just be so much fun. I could totally picture a few little bungalows. So I'm building 3 of the same like bungalows in a row right now for families. And then I wanted there to be like a communal space as well, and just a bunch of activities for parents and kids to do together or to do separately. So there is a little bit of everything to do for everyone, I feel, at this camp. And I just wanted to build something very wholesome and something that maybe looks a little bit familiar to me as well, because when I was a kid, I used to go on vacation with my family, with my sister and my parents, and we would go to like little bungalow kind of, vacation park kind of things, and we would just hang out there, and there would be so many things to do for everyone, for all ages. So that's kind of what I was thinking of when I was building this, and it's the first thing that came to mind that I wanted to build as well. So that's what we're doing here. So yeah, we're in the world of Gibby Point on a waterfront lot, might I add. We finally have some new waterfront lots in the game that I am so excited about. I just love the general look and feel of this world. I think it is so pretty. And these waterfront lots are so fun. It is so nice and refreshing to be building here on the water, and it's not Sulani. Like, it's not necessarily a very tropical environment. So that is something that is so fun and refreshing. And obviously I ran to a waterfront lot to do my very first build here. As I was building this, I didn't really have any gameplay under my belt just yet. I hadn't tried anything. I just dove straight in and I wanted to look at the new build items and see what that was all about. So that's essentially what I'm doing. As I'm doing this voiceover, however, I do have a few hours of gameplay and a couple of builds under my belt. So, you know, I understand everything a little bit better at this point, and I will say, I generally really like this pack. If you are a wholesome family gameplay kind of person, You're gonna love this because you can have so many cute moments with your children, like with the kids as they're growing up or as a family together, depending on what type of getaway you want to do. You know, you can go on vacation together, you can go on a family camp like the one I'm building right now with the fam and just enjoy your time here. The kids can go to camp by themselves and, you know, have those experiences with other children and camp counselors and just do that whole thing. It's gonna add a lot of gameplay for kids, which I think is so much fun. That is definitely something we have been wanting, or a lot of us, I will say, have been wanting for a while now. It's just extra kids gameplay and just stuff for them to do, and that is exactly what this pack is going to give you. We even have that like modular playground equipment that is so cool, and I haven't played around with that enough just yet, I will say. I added some playground equipment here to this lot as well, obviously for kids to play with, but I haven't really, you know, tried it out and you know, really created my own modular playground kind of thing because it's a little intimidating to me still. There's so many different like pieces of it, so yeah, I don't know. I think it's really cool though, so I definitely want to play around with it a little bit more. So there is that. We obviously have archery, there's kayaking, so activity-wise, there's just a bunch to do, and the imaginary friend, obviously, as well, which for a lot of us is just very nostalgic because in The Sims 3, there were also imaginary friends, so, you know, for a lot of it, it's very familiar and just really fun that it's back and in The Sims 4 now as well. And I think this pack, like I said, it really adds a lot for everyone, honestly, for all ages too. And you can go the wholesome route and like do like family cams or kids camps and just, you know, watch your kids grow up and enjoy those formative moments, which are so cool. I actually have a gameplay video coming out tomorrow where I basically try to go over all the gameplay features, at least for a minute. So, you know, it's a pretty long gameplay video where I'm just trying out, you know, the getaway system and all those things. So if you're interested in that, keep an eye out for that. That will be coming out tomorrow. And then I also have a couple more builds coming out. So yeah, I definitely did do a little bit of content with the pack. I'm also streaming the early access, obviously, over on Twitch as well. So if you're not already following me there, you can go ahead and find me over on twitch.tv/SimmerySims. If you want to see some live streams where I'm going over or just playing the pack in early access as well. But yeah, with that out of the way, you can really tell that I was just kind of trying to go over all the features here. I was really trying to think like, what do I want to put here? How do I want to place everything? I thought this camp would be really cute to just also have a bunch of kayaks laying around. So I created this like space over the water where I just basically placed down all the kayaks. You can also put them in the water and then Sims can just kind of swim to them and jump into the kayaks and use them in that sense. So that is obviously very easy to do as well. Or you can place them on the ground and then I think Sims can just put them in their inventory and then place them in the water, but I could be wrong. You might actually need to go through and put them in the water. You can also see that I'm using some of that modular playground equipment. I was trying to fiddle around with it a little bit, but I didn't really have a lot of space here. So I just went for something that was kind of like put together for me to just plonk down. So I decided to do that. And I think it looks really cute. I also placed down some archery things. This lot is not the biggest, which I actually really enjoyed. When I first opened up this build, I was feeling so like excited to build, but also overwhelmed at the same time. And the first thing I did was, okay, I need a big lot to build a bungalow park. So I decided to go to a 64 by 64 empty lot and I was just staring at it for 10 minutes. And I tried to do like some like building on there, a couple of bungalows and stuff, but it was just way too big and too much for me to do. So I decided to actually move it over to a smaller lot, which is where we're building right now. And yeah, my general opinion on this pack, I will say I do need to do a little bit more gameplay with it to really get a feel of everything and to really form an opinion on how much I love it. But I will say from what I've done build-wise, gameplay-wise, I really, really like it. And I think it's gonna definitely be such a fun addition to my just, you know, storytelling focused gameplay that I really like to do. It's also going to be so fun for family getaway builds and all that kind of stuff, and different types of getaways, honestly, because you can obviously go the wholesome route with this, but you can also you could add like competitive elements to your getaways even, where they've been kind of advertising with a Love Island kind of thing, where there is a competitive element where I think each day say the sim that has gained the least, or that has done the least romantic interactions, will be eliminated or something like that. And they also have that for a couple of other like things. Also for skills, they have that for cooking skills as well, which is really fun. So you could do like a cooking competition, the Great Simish Bake Off, if you will. So you could do that, you know, all those types of things. So you can either go very wholesome with it and family oriented, or you can go completely chaotic and just do something diabolical and just do like a Love Island kind of thing. You know, I think that would also just be so exciting, and I definitely want to try all that gameplay out. I have a pancakes let's play, the pancakes reheated, here over on my channel, and I think it'd be so fun for Bob Pancakes to be competing in, or to be participating in like a cooking competition getaway, for example. I think that would be so fun. So I have all these ideas floating around in my head. This pack is so versatile, there is so much to it, there's so many things that you can think of to do that my brain is a little bit like, you know, almost overflowing a bit with all the ideas and things that I want to try that are all completely different from each other. So I guess that already sort of explains or shows how versatile this pack really is. You know, I feel like there's a lot you can do with it. Build buy wise, I will say I really like the build buy items in this pack. It is, however, very catered towards camp and getaway type things. I think it would be pretty difficult to actually just really focus on building a family home with this. Obviously, combined with other packs, you can do that. Combined with base game, you can do that. But when you focus on just the items that come in this pack, I think it's a little tough, which makes sense because it's not really focusing on residential lots. So I feel like it makes sense that the build buy isn't necessarily focused or catered towards residential lots all that much either. So I feel like that makes sense. The things that are in this pack I think are really beautiful. It's very rustic. You can tell that I'm using a new fireplace that is really pretty. I'm using that brick wallpaper here. I'm also using the other new wallpaper in the bedrooms. It is a patterned wallpaper that is just absolutely adorable. I think that the color swatches for the items in this pack are gorgeous. Everything is, like I said, very rustic, but like there's a lot of earthy tones and, you know, muted colors and neutrals, and I just think it looks really pretty. It's really well made. And you could go a little bit more rustic or a little bit more modern when it comes to this build buy. There's kind of two different like styles represented, I guess, in this pack. For this particular build, I'm definitely going a little bit more rustic because, you know, that's just kind of where my mind went immediately. I was struggling, by the way, with a layout, finding the right layout for these bungalows. So it took me a minute to figure it out. I actually built the kitchen and then completely moved it to the other side of the cabin, like you could just see. So it definitely took me a minute to figure this out. But that couch, for example, I love that couch. I think that is so fun. I don't know how often I would use that couch in regular residential homes, but I do think it looks really good in little rental cabins. It's a perfect piece of furniture for that. It comes with two matching chairs. There's also a small love seat that kind of matches. So, you know, I feel like we do have a full-on matching lounge set in this one, which is really nice. There is a really beautiful coffee table. I love that standing lamp. Oh, and something that's really exciting that you could maybe just see me place down in the kitchen is a little cart that actually slots appliances, kitchen appliances, which is so cool. I've been wanting that for so long. Also, ever since we got the kitchen clutter kit, there was that really cute island, that kitchen island kind of thing. And that would be so perfect if you could like slot a microwave or just any appliance to it, which you can't. But this pack comes with a really cute cart. It's only a one tile cart though, so it's a little smaller, that actually slots appliances, which I think is so fun. So I actually placed it here in these bungalows and I slotted a little coffee maker to it. I should have done the smoothie, the blender, obviously, but you know, I was feeling so overwhelmed with all the new stuff that I kind of forgot that was in this pack for this particular build. I don't think I placed the smoothie maker. Really? No, it's a blender. I didn't place the blender, I don't think, in this one. Or maybe I did it in the communal kitchen in the like shared, like community bungalow over the water. I'm not exactly sure, but we'll see once I get to furnishing that one. But yeah, I really like that cart that holds appliances. I think that is such a fun addition to all kinds of kitchens. You know, it's just super realistic. And I love the decorations. I definitely was missing some plants in this pack. There is only one tiny little new plant that is just like a little table plant. It's really tiny. It's really cute. I will say that, but it is really small and it's the only plant in the game. So yeah, I was definitely missing that, and I was just missing some little clutter items in general. I feel like I would have really loved a couple extra clutter pieces. We do have some cute kitchen clutter. We have that little utensil holder type thing, and then there is a tray with, I think it holds like tea or like snack things, which is really cute. It definitely looks like something you would find in like a bungalow or like a shared community space or whatever. So that definitely makes a lot of sense. And we do have a good selection of beds in this pack, I will say. I'm going for the rustic beds here in this build, but for my upcoming builds with this pack, I'm also using the other steel frame beds that I think are really cute as well. But for this one, I was definitely trying to embrace the log cabin vibes, the rustic vibes, you know, so that's what I was going for. So yeah, you can see the bed that I'm using, and that wallpaper, isn't that just the cutest? It comes in a bunch of different colors. The patterns are all slightly, not all of them, but I think there's a total of 3, maybe 2, but I think 3 different patterns. This one in particular has the trees and then the alien kind of UFO kind of alien abduction going on, which I think is so funny. And then there's a couple other ones that are similar to this, but I think are just a little different and just really cute. And they each have a different little like scene going on. If that makes any sense. So yeah, that was really fun to see. Each bungalow, by the way, has space for 4 Sims total. So we have one main bedroom for the parents or caregivers, and then one shared room for 2 kids or teens or, you know, whoever is coming on this getaway. So I just decided to furnish it for children with a couple of toys and stuff as well. And also, I forgot to mention, but once this build is finished, we will obviously go into the game, and I thought it would be fun to set up the getaway system, or not the getaway system, but the custom venue lot type for this one together. So we could just make a family camp and add a schedule to it, just so that we can go over how that works and like what it looks like. So that is really exciting. And I thought that would be fun to kind of do together. Also, all these bungalows are going to be exactly the same, just each of them is going to have its own color scheme. So I think I'm going to be copying over all the rooms and stuff, and I didn't really record all of that necessarily. But yeah, each bungalow is exactly the same. I just swapped out the colors, but I will obviously go over all the separate cabins once we do an actual tour of the place in real time. Each bungalow also has a back porch here where I thought it'd be cute to just add a little grill, and a little bench for them to sit. And they also have a pretty spacious front porch here. So I just added some clutter to it. I really like that camping gear kind of rack thing that I placed by the front door. It looks like it's holding like tents or sleeping bags or maybe both. I think that's really cute. So I placed that down, and I thought it'd be fun to have like a 4-seater outdoor dining table so Sims can actually sit and maybe have some dinner or breakfast together. Out front on the front porch. I thought that would be so fun. And then for the communal bungalow here, I wanted there to be something to do for everyone. So it's a pretty spacious bungalow. I actually ended up adding a gym to this because I really wanted to use the spin bikes. In my personal opinion, and it's probably a little stupid, but I think that the spin bikes are potentially my favorite new activity that comes with this pack. And I know that's maybe crazy because there are so many exciting things in this pack, and then I think the spin bikes are the most exciting, but I just really like it because I love to spin. I do a lot of spinning. I do a lot of spinning a couple times a week, and I really love it. It's one of my newfound hobbies or, you know, favorite workouts actually that I started doing, I think at the start of this year. So I haven't even been doing it that long, but we had a new spinning place. Is that how you would call it? A spinning place or a spin place? I'm not exactly sure, but we had a new one open here in the town where I live. It's brand new and it's so fun, and I had never done it before. Well, I mean, I think I had done it before, but like a couple times and like a long time ago. And this place is so fun. It's like a row cycle type of thing. It's not actually row cycle, but it's kind of the same thing. You know what I mean? And it's just been so fun, and I just love it so much. It is such a great outlet, and I just really, really enjoy it. So I was so excited to see that come to The Sims, and I would just, I don't know, all my Sims are going to be spinning from now on. I think it's awesome. And I also think it's really fun for like elderly Sims, you know, I could totally see like a retirement home with a couple of spinning bikes, or like grandma's apartment with like a dusty, unused spinning bike, or maybe not unused, and maybe grandma loves to spin and she's very active, you know, like a spinning bike in the living room or like in the study or whatever. I think that would just be so fun. Don't do too much spinning with your elderly Sims, because, you know, fitness activities with your elderly Sims, it doesn't always end well, so just be aware of that. But yeah, I love the spinning bikes. I think they're so much fun. But here you can see I was kind of decorating a communal area here with a little kitchen and a bunch of dining spots as well. I thought it would be fun for Sims to maybe have dinner together here, schedule-wise, and then also I wanted to set up some paper crafts because I thought that would be so much fun for the kids to do together. They could just do some paper crafts. You know, it's just such a fun little skill and new activity for kids. It's not only for kids, adults can also do that, so that is really fun. I think that goes for all the activities, actually. I'm not sure if kids can use the spin bikes. I don't think they can, but adults can, obviously. But adults can also do the kayaking, they can do the archery and all that stuff, so they can kind of do all that stuff together, and I think that is so fun. But I thought this would be a fun space for, you know, maybe when it's raining and you want to have some indoor activities to do, then you could just have your kids spend some time here and do some paper crafts, have the adult Sims take a spinning class. I'm setting it all up here. It took me a minute to figure out what the right orientation for these spinning bikes would be, what would make the most sense. So I'm placing it all down here, but I think I ended up just swapping everything, or like moving everything around and placing it on a diagonal, because I really wanted the instructor bike to be on a little, you know, platform so that everyone can see them properly. I thought that would be so fun, and it's so realistic because that is what my spin place looks like as well. They have the instructor bike on a little podium or like stage almost kind of thing. So that's kind of what I wanted to try to do here as well. So yeah, that's what I ended up doing. I was messing around with it a little bit, but let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of this pack? Are you excited about this pack? Is there anything else that you want to see me build or do with this pack? By all means, let me know. Also in combination with other packs, because obviously I will have this pack also just in my own regular game soon. And then we can actually mix and match and see what the cross-pack compatibility is all about. For these builds, however, it's just really nice to just focus on the new stuff paired with base game and see how that all works. But yeah, that's let me know what you think of this pack, and are you excited about it? Also, shameless plug, if you are thinking of getting this pack, you can always use my creator code SimmarySims in the promo code box when you're getting this pack off of the EA app. That is not a discount code, but it is a free way for you to support me as a creator, which, excitingly enough, I am going full-time as a creator in a couple of weeks. I only have a few weeks of work ahead of me, of my job ahead of me. And then I'm officially a full-time content creator after that, and I literally can't wait. So drop all your suggestions for builds and things that you want to see in the comments down below, so, you know, I can write it all down, because I'll have so much time. I'll have so much time to create all these videos for you, and I'm just so excited about that. Here outside, when I was done with the little gym area, I really wanted there to be a couple of hot tubs and a bar, because this pack comes with a really cute bar. It also has a really cute matching bar back that I didn't end up using for this build. I ended up using it in other builds though. And it has those in-ground hot tubs. Is that how you could call them? I love those hot tubs. I think they're so cool. And I really want it there to be like a nice space for parents to hang out when the kids are in bed. You know, I just really want it there to be a nice bar for them to hang out, and a couple of hot tubs. I thought that would only make sense. And how lovely would it be to just sit out in that hot tub and have that gorgeous view over the water? I don't know. I just think that that would be so dreamy. So I wanted to add that for the adults. And then I almost forgot to actually add a fire pit, but obviously we have to have a fire pit with a little cooking little station kind of over it as well, so Sims can actually make food, which is so cute. But that's it for this build. So let's jump into the game and I'll show it to you in real time. So here we have the family camp in the game. While we're here, I might as well just show you the world a little bit better. We're a bit limited though, because I don't currently have a sim here, but you can kind of see around, like, it is so beautiful. Look at all that water. It's all swimmable and kayakable water, which is so exciting. And just look at that view. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. There's a little island in the middle here, and it is just stunning out here. I do believe that this is officially the front of the lot, so I kind of built it backwards, but I don't really care because obviously you wouldn't want to have those bungalows face the water. Everything would kind of be focused on the water is what I was thinking. So yeah, here we have our family camp in Gibby Point. First of all, there's a bunch of activities to do here, of course. So I have all these kayaks just kind of around here. You can also place them in the water, and then Sims can just kind of swim to them and use them that way. Out front here is where we have archery lined up. This is not the biggest lot, so I didn't have that much space for too many like archery things, but I think 3 is still good. Then we have this playground equipment. I love the playground equipment. It is such a fun addition, and I can't wait to build a fun playground with all this stuff. It is literally a game changer. In the middle here, I just have a couple of picnic tables, a swing set. There is this terrarium type of thing. It's a butterfly and moth habitat where you can put all your little butterflies and moths that you caught through gameplay. That's so cute to just kind of see them sit in here, and it reminds me of Animal Crossing. It's really fun. And then out on this side here is where I have a fire pit with this little pan kind of over it as well, so Sims can actually sit here and have some food. So let me show you the bungalows first. They're all exactly the same. I literally copied and pasted them over, but I just swapped out the color schemes. So we have the first bungalow over here. They each sleep 4 Sims total, 2 adults and 2 kids or teens or whoever's here, you know. And the cabins are very simple, but I think they're very cozy still. So there is a small entrance. I didn't even mention these curtains, I don't think, in the speed build, but I love those curtains. I think they're really fun. I'm always happy when we get some new curtains in this game. So yeah, there's just an entrance with some space to store luggage and whatnot. This is that cart that I was talking about that actually slots appliances. I am really happy with that. So I obviously had to use that here as a little extension of the kitchen. For the rest, the kitchen's very simple, just base game, and then some new clutter pieces right here. And then there's the living room. I really like this furniture set. I think it's really pretty. This couch comes in a bunch of different colors, very muted, earthy tones, and I think it's really gorgeous, especially this green. This green is obviously going to be my favorite. I love green. I paired it with this chair, and there's this little ottoman or like folding chair kind of thing that also looks adorable. There is a 4-seater dining table in here with some brand new chairs as well. Some cutesy wall decorations that I love. I really like this shelf too with all these games in it. Look at that. That's so much fun, isn't it? Then over here is the kids' room. Just look at that wallpaper. Isn't that the most adorable wallpaper you've ever seen? I kind of love how it continues around the corner here, by the way. I think the wallpaper always does that, but I don't know. I particularly like how it looks for this one for some reason. So yeah, there's just 2 beds in here and then a few toys. I really like this dresser with the stickers. This is a caterpillar incubator, which is really fun to use in gameplay as well. And the rug. Also, I didn't really mention that, but I like this rug a lot. It's a little small, so I'm excited to use it in my regular game where I have tool mod, so I can size it up a little bit more precisely. And then there is the parents' room over here. I went for the same bed, just in a double bed variant. I love this collage. I really like this one. It comes with such cute pictures. Look at that. Just look at that. The little duckies and the butterflies, and this one with the fish and the kayak. And then there's this one with the Gibby Point kind of pictures and that little sheep in the corner. It's so cute. I really like this. Out back, they just have a grill and a bench. And of course they have a full-size bathroom in here. There is a new sink in this pack, which I really like. It's a little bit more modern, but I still wanted to use it because it's nice and new and shiny. So I decided to use it here in the bathroom anyway. Then for the other bungalows, they are exactly the same, just different color schemes. So this one's a little bit brighter. I went for the beige and light wood furniture in here. Really like this color scheme. I think it's adorable. The wallpaper over here just has, ooh, is that like Bigfoot or something? That is really cute. I love that pattern on this wallpaper as well. And then the colors, of course. The bedding is so gorgeous. I used the same wallpaper over here and then a different bed. And then the third bungalow over here has blue wallpaper and some darker brown kind of furniture here, and then some other colors mixed in as well. Really like this color for the leather on the chairs and the couch. And then I used some lighter woods. Oh yeah, this wallpaper has yet another pattern. So just some trees and a little campfire and some cabins. Loving that red color. I think that red is very, very beautiful. So yeah, the same goes for the parents' room here, kind of the same color scheme. I also really like this swatch of the rug, by the way, with the kayaks on it. So cute. And then over on this side is where we have the communal space where there is a few activities to do. There's a couple of entrances here. You can enter through this portion right here, or there's a door here. There is also a back door, but I really wanted this to be just like a shared hangout space. So we have two 6-seater dining tables here. I thought it would be fun to use as dining tables, but also for some paper crafts. So that's what I laid out in here. And then there's a few bookcases. So maybe Sims can just like grab a book and do some reading. There's a little bit of storage. I really like this shelf. I think I'll be using this shelf a lot in family homes too, or just like regular builds. And this lamp I think is also super fun and creative. Over here is a small kitchen. I really like this wall decoration with the pans and stuff, by the way. I think that is darling. And this is just, you know, a kitchen for everyone to use. I feel like this would be good for like the communal dinner. So we have that. And then through here, we have a little gym setup that I just love. We have the spinning bikes, the instructor bike, there's some music. Obviously, how could I forget the free weights that your Sims can use now? Absolutely love that. And then attached to this gym is a bathroom. So we have a couple showers and sinks. No toilet, but there's a toilet over here on the other side. So I thought that would be good. And then over here in the back is where we have a spot for the adults to hang out. So there is a bar, some couches, and obviously, most importantly, we have some hot tubs. Can you imagine just sitting in this hot tub, enjoying the view like this? I don't know. I think that would be amazing, actually. So, you know, I just had to. Okay, so let's actually set up this custom venue with a like family camp schedule. So as you can see over here, we have set it as a custom venue and we can modify the schedule preset. And this is where it looked very overwhelming to me at first, but I promise it's kind of doable. So we could start here with roles. So let's create a role first. We're gonna need kids, caregivers, and people that work at the camp. So I think we're gonna have 3 roles. We can name them. So let's just name this one kids. We can have a total of 6 children here. We can also give them role criteria and activities. So let's say that we want these kids to be either children or maybe teenagers still too. I think that could be really fun. So we'll do that. We don't really need any other criteria, but you definitely can. If you want to do like an occult camp or whatever, then you definitely can. Romantic orientation, region, that is really fun. Relationship status, career. So, you know, there's a bunch of things to pick from when it comes to the criteria. And the same goes for the activity. So for the role properties, we can just give them some general activities that you want them to do. And then in the schedule, you can actually also assign specific activities to the specific roles for each time slot. So micromanagement to a T, you know? So for a overall activity, I obviously want these children to, you know, enjoy the outdoors. This means that they'll be swimming, fishing, catching butterflies, gardening, bonfires, ponds. Is that what I want? No, I think I want outdoor recreation. Yeah, bikes, pools, fishing, butterflies, ocean water, diving boards, and ponds. So maybe we could do that. So in this case, they'll be playing in the ocean and catching butterflies. I definitely also want them to use the kayaks just in general. They can swim in open water. Maybe a few of these are like overlapping a little bit, but you know, that's okay. There's so many to pick from, honestly. I definitely also want them to play on the playground equipment and maybe work on creative skills. So that means that they'll be doing paper craft stuff. I think for general activities, that works for the kids. And then if you want to, you can even give them an outfit. We're not going to do that per se right now because this is just families going on vacation. But if you wanted to have like a cute camp outfit, then you definitely can. Okay, so we have kids. That just became the fourth one. So I think I'm just going to delete this one. So we have 3. Yeah, okay. And then we have the caregivers. We can have 6 of those as well. Criteria would be that they are probably going to be young adults, or elderly Sims. That makes the most sense. For overall activities, maybe they can enjoy the outdoors as well, or outdoor recreation, just like the kids. Oh, I should have added, hang on. I should have definitely added something that makes them do the archery stuff. Oh, okay. So I could do build physical skills maybe instead of kayaking because the build physical skills also makes them use the kayaks. So that's perfect. We could do that and then we have it all covered. Okay. So for caregivers, let's go back to it. I do want them to care for and mentor children with the activities just in general because I really feel like the parents and kids would do that together in this case. Mix and mingle is so fun. That's not for this camp, obviously, but Sims will bond, cuddle, and try to build a romantic relationship. I think that's diabolical and amazing. I absolutely love that. So I have to use that for some build in the future. I think parents will also swim and they'll just be friendly. I don't know. I think that's fine for the caregivers. And then we also need a camp counselor. There is a role library here for you to pick from if you don't want to create them from scratch. Then if there is something here that fits what you're looking for in this really long list of roles, then that is actually, you know, you can always pick them and then customize them too. So yeah, I don't know, it's just really helpful. So I'm looking for a camp counselor and we'll add it to current roles. And then I have 2 custom roles here that I'm just gonna have to get rid of. Okay, and then this camp counselor, I think we're gonna need 2 of them probably. And we definitely want this, so this is kind of like pre-set up and we definitely want them to be teens, young adults, or adults, I wanna say, or elderly Sims, really. And then we want them to be a seasoned camp counselor. I think that's fun. They will clean, they will be friendly, and they will hang out with the children as well, which I think is perfect. These Sims do have an outfit set up, a custom outfit, which, you know, I believe it. I think that would be cute. So we'll have 2 camp counselors here as well. So that's it for the roles. Then we have a schedule. This is a whole video in and of itself, honestly. So let's say that these Sims will have breakfast just by themselves, but let's say that at 8 a.m. it's time for the parents to do some spinning. I think that would be amazing. They will lift free weights. Oh wait, no, this is the overall activity. Wait. Use spinning bikes is what I want them to do. And then I want the caregivers to not do any of these things, but I want them to use the spinning bikes or lift free weights. You know, I think that that would be really fun for them to do. And then the kids can just kind of do whatever. They can just kind of do whatever. This is really for the caregivers. Maybe we could do camp counselors and have them use the spinning bikes as well. So maybe that's how they'll give the class. I'm not exactly sure how that works, to be honest with you. But at 8 a.m., we have the parents set up for some spinning. Then let's say at 11 a.m., it is free time and everyone can just do some outdoor recreation. And I do think that we can just have these roles be their overall roles in general. If you wanted to have a time slot for, let's say, archery and kayaking in general, we could just say maybe at, I don't know, 3 p.m., I will remove the caregivers and the counselors for this one, but at 3 p.m. it is time for kids to not do any of these things, but to particularly use the kayaks. I think that would make sense. And then for the overall activity, I will also set use kayaks. So the kids will use the kayaks. You know what? Maybe everyone will use the kayaks at this point. We're going for a little kayaking adventure, if you will. Parents will use the kayaks, and so will the camp counselors. I think that's really fun. And then at 6 p.m., so this is actually already set to the right time, we will have some dinner together. I think that would be really fun. So we will go for, you know, have dinner as the overall activity, and the camp counselors can actually serve the meal. So that would make the most sense for them. So that is dinner time. And then I think at 9 p.m., we won't have the kids do anything anymore, but we will have the caregivers. They can like be friendly and stuff, but I want them to drink bar drinks and use the hot tubs. And then the camp counselors will clean, they will be friendly, and they will tend the bar. So yeah, I think that's really cool. Main activity for this one will be drink bar drinks, I think. So now we have a whole schedule set up for the parents. The parents have to get up early here. They have to do a little bit of a workout at 8 a.m. Then at 11 a.m. it's time for some outdoor recreation. At 3 p.m. it's time to go for a little kayak adventure. So everyone will be using the kayaks at that point. At 6 p.m. it's dinner time, where the counselors will be serving and the rest of the people will be eating. And then at 9 p.m. it's time for the kids to go to bed, but for the parents to do some bar drinks. If you wanted to, you could set up bedtime as well for the kids. I didn't do that for this one. I just set up an activity for the parents to do specifically. So it's not super micromanaged, but you can make it super micromanaged if you want to. So yeah, that's how you set this up. And we're gonna call this Family Camp. Oops. Camp. There we go. Accept schedule, and there you have it. It is now all set up. But that is actually it for my very first build with adventure weights. This is not on the gallery yet, but when the pack actually releases, I will make sure to upload my builds to the gallery as soon as I can. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any other suggestions for things that you want to see, obviously let me know in the comments down below. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can find me over on Twitch and Instagram if you'd like. My username on there is Simmary Sims. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!